In this, what sort of looking for? In this video that is off the cuff or sort of just spontaneous, let's call it spontaneous, I want to share some information about synchronicity and how the numbers work. You start paying attention to numbers and you'll start seeing them everywhere. And showing up in terms of events, circumstances, people. So today's the 22nd day today of the month. And I wanted to go to the gym because I mentioned in my past video, 22 is a really good number for going to the gym. It's a number of the builder, bodybuilders. I'm not into bodybuilding, but it's a good time to build muscle. It's also a good time you have a lot of emotional energy to channel that emotional energy into creating something before. So what happened today? Two really remarkable things happened. Number one, before I go to the gym, I go to the little coconut stand by me to get my coconut water, my little bit of energy boost, and hydrate myself. And I'm going there and I like to watch, I only follow one YouTube channel. It's just one YouTube channel. It's a very innocent, it's about like cars and stuff like this. Something a channel I followed for years, the only one I followed consistently. And lo and behold, the video is about, there's two founders of this channel, is the birthday of one of the founders. I had no idea. I found out this guy's born the 22nd, okay? And if you look at 22 in Chaldean numerology, it's 22/4. 2 plus 2 equals 4. Now the outer flow of this is a 42/6. The inner flow is a 42/6. Guess how old the guy was turning? 42. Born on the 22nd day, turning 42. I was like, whoa, that was weird. Because they record the videos and they post them later after they edit them. So it wasn't the day of his birthday. It was just that information what came into my field of awareness on the 22nd day. Another synchronicity. For some reason, I don't know why, I decided to reach out to my landlord to find out when my condo that I'm in, when it was renovated, because it was renovated before I moved in, several years ago. I'm not really sure when at this point. So I asked her, I wanted to find out when it was renovated because I've been really researching and studying, specifically using Chinese or Vietnamese astrology, which is also connected to numerology. The whole idea is you want to be around your energy. And like put yourself around your energy. By surrounding yourself with energy more, it'll be easier for you to flow and have success. So I reached out to her, and for some reason I did today. She says, oh yeah, it was renovated in 2020. 22. And 22nd day is when I got this information. Which also connected into that is, let's just say it's a very friendly sign to my sign. And the address itself is an 11. It creates an 11. And I was born on the 11th day. So I found out, and I have had really good luck with this, of getting in the right places where the energy is for me. And I always have really, really good luck with getting the right places, in the right neighborhood, and all this stuff, down to the street name, the all this. So it's very, very important. So these are some synchronicities, and this is not the only thing. I'll tell you another one. The other day, I go into this cafe that I go into a lot. I've been going to this cafe for a year since I moved here. And there's a woman that works there, okay? And I've seen this woman many, many times. And this is on the day of the 17th. This was a few days ago, 5 days ago. And somehow or another, she wanted me to look at her birthday. It wasn't the day before, it wasn't the day after, it was this particular day, okay? So I look at her birthday, and again, she's born the 17th. She has about, I think it was 5 number 17s in her birth chart. There's her hidden numbers. And I was just like, what? And all that information came into my field on the 17th. This is how this stuff works. There's no mistakes. If you start paying attention, everything happens at a very specific time, very, very specific reason. There's a flow. It's like a matrix, a computer program that's running. And this is where you start paying attention, and where it benefits is when you start knowing how to use the time energy. This is the big takeaway. So I mentioned before about the year. Now I'm going to give you some practical tips on this. It's really, really important to here's the analogy. You got two plants, same plant, different soils. The same plant in one soil is going to have really shiny leaves. The flower is going to come out. It's going to bear the fruit. It's going to look very, very healthy. Same plant, different soil. It's going to be alive, but it's going to be wilted, kind of yellow. It doesn't look very, very healthy. This is to give you an analogy of what it means to be around your energy. You're swimming, space is not empty. Space is intelligent. Space is memory. There's all kinds of information. It's like an ocean that you can't see. It's there though. So you want to put yourself in a space that is conducive to your energy. So instead of having to work against the grain and feeling a lot of pushback and obstacles, that you just, what's going on? I'm giving my best. I don't know what's going on. This is because the space may not be conducive to you. Not just the space, but the people in your life. This is how it works. But you put yourself in a space where your energy naturally unfolds, it naturally flows. Things become easy, the right people come to you, the right circumstances, right place, right time, right opportunities. Everything just kind of works out in a really favorable way. This is how this stuff works. So there's many ways to do this. Your apartment number, your house number, you want to have that as a friendly number to your place. Another really big one is knowing Vietnamese astrology. You hear the bell. This is synchronicity. As soon as I said that, the bell started ringing. This is highlighting, this is a very, very important part. Vietnamese astrology, which the only difference between Chinese and Vietnamese, generally speaking, that I'm aware of, is that Vietnamese calls it a cat, Chinese calls it a rabbit. Other than that, they're basically the same thing. You want to understand, okay, number one, what Chinese astrology, because why year? This is a fascinating conversation that is really worthy of unpacking really quickly. I'll do it briefly here. Year is your unconscious. It is who you are beneath all the layers is the year. So the Chinese or the Vietnamese astrology in your year number is very, very, very important. It also influences your general environment, the thing farthest away from your conscious identity, the environment, what's going on, what's happening to you, your instincts like this. The month, which is more based on in Western astrology when the sun is moving through different months, every time the month changes when the sun moves, it is more about your subconscious, which is a little different. This is more about what you know, your natural flow of your mind, the undercurrent of your mind, the way your mind is structured. Where the day vibration is more about the style that this is presented, the finishing touch. So if you look at the layers as a year, unconscious, month, subconscious, day, your conscious awareness. So year is so important. And Chinese astrology, which is why some people would say it's more accurate, it's just based on a more fundamental. So that I said all that to say is year is the most fundamental aspect of your psyche, and the three general layers of your psyche is the year. Fundamental, therefore it holds more power. Like if you look at the ocean, to bring this home, the waves on top, the ripple effect, that's the conscious awareness. The depth of the ocean, that's who you actually are. That's why you can have a neurotic thought like, oh, I have a Rolls Royce in the driveway. If your subconscious and unconscious aren't aligned with this, it's not going to happen. So therefore, the fundamental means more powerful. That's why Chinese and Vietnamese astrology is very, very valuable to learn, in addition as a supplement. How do you use it? Well, the simple ways of using it is, every country is founded in a certain year, isn't it? When the buildings are built, that all happens during certain years. When it happens, it imprints that energy into the space, in the case of a country. So, looking at where you want to visit. So you can start paying attention, start going back and looking at where are places you visited where you just had bad luck, or it just, for some reason, just wasn't a good place. It didn't feel good to you. Look at when the city was founded, when the country was founded. Look at these things and you'll start seeing patterns. So first step is to find out what is your friend signs. Each sign has a triad of friends. This video wasn't going to be about Vietnamese astrology, but it's kind of, I'm going to just briefly touch on it because we're talking about how to use time energy to your advantage. Vietnamese astrology, so there's 3 triads. I don't remember all of them by heart yet, but there's the rat, the monkey, and the dragon are all friends. You have ox, snake, and rooster. That's 2. You have, oh gosh, the other 2 are a little bit more, so you have to look at those. I have notes still. I'm still memorizing all of it. I think it's the tiger, the dog, and gosh, I don't remember. But you want to know these things because specifically you want to know who your enemy sign is. That's the sign that's most different from you. You want to try to stay away from enemy signs. Once every 12 years is an enemy sign. Enemy just means, it doesn't mean it's trying to kill you. It just means it's a polar opposite of you. So if you look at it in terms of context of space, where your energy flows the best versus a space where it's so different than you that your energy is not going to flow the same way. It's just not going to be as easy. That's the enemy year. It's inimical. It's an adversarial energy to yours. Okay, so knowing your enemy, knowing your friend sign, there's also a secret friend. That's a whole different conversation. But This is general ways. So for example, I said on how to use time energy. 22, go to the gym. This is a good time to build muscle or build something. Use your emotions to build something. 3 energy is good for communication, good for making videos, good for talking, for writing, good for doing art where it's just raw, good for connecting with other people. 2 is a good time to not speak. It's a good time to listen. Listen not just to voice, but listening to the subtle vibrations. It's how your intuition tunes in. It's a good time to try to refrain from speaking and just tune in. 1's a good time to start things, initiate. It's a good time to get inspiration, get ideas. We talked about 4. 4 is also a number of knowing what to remove, squaring things away, doing something with structure, organization, habits, routines, like this, building something that you can build on top of. Because 4 energy supports doing a foundation that you can then optimize and innovate. This is how it make yourself more efficient. 4 is also associated with hard work. 4 likes to build things. So building something, setting a foundation of some kind, starting a web page or something like this, or you get the idea. Creating a plan of attack where you're okay. I'm going to organize the rest of my week for this energy, or I'm going to create a new routine or new habit or a new system, a new program or something like this. 5 energy is good for networking, good for travel, good for meeting new people, good for changing up your routine, being dynamic, open to going with the flow. 5 energy, also people aren't talking about this. 5 is good for following synchronicities. So 5s are meant to be led by synchronicities. When you see a synchronicity or you feel pulled to do something, go and change, mix it up. 6 energy is good for beautifying, organizing your space, creating harmony, paying attention to how you look, styling your hair, getting a haircut like this. It's good for being with family, being with community. 7 energy is good for isolation, good for separating yourself to get understanding. It's really, really good for being in your own energy, not being around other people, and with the intention of understanding. This is a time to contemplate problems, contemplate solutions, contemplate ideas, and it's also a good time for studying as well. So is 3. 3 is a good time for learning. And also 5. 5 is a time when your mind's going to be able to work more quickly. 3 is a good time for expanding your mind. Also for achieving things. Okay, we saw about 7. 8. 8's a good one for, you might find on 8 energies, there might be tests where it's going to look for integrity. So 8's a good day to really, really be in integrity and authenticity and bring awareness to cause and effect. Bring awareness to karma. So they say it's a good day for going after getting power, which is why 8's a number of money, because money in this world is power. But the power has to be rooted in integrity. The power has to be rooted. This is where you look at the 8. There's an outer 8 and there's an inner 16/7 within the 8. It means this power, this achievement, going after power, overly ambitious, if you're doing it to protect an inner vulnerability, where you're not actually established in understanding, you're too attached, that's not going to lead you down a good path. The whole game of the 8 is achieving truth, wisdom, and understanding through surrendering of the identity to service and responsibility. That's what the 16's about. So 8 energy is going to ask you to do that. Is to ask you to be detached and to pursue goals while being detached. That's a 8. So 8's a good time. Yes, it's a good time to do money-related activities, of course. But there's within every number, there's so many aspects. They're like diamonds. There's so many facets of the thing. Simply put, things that will establish your power, help you to accumulate power, is really good on the 8th day. Accumulate power, which is also money. Money's power, like this. But make sure you're very careful what you do on that day. Don't do things that you know is not right. If you do things that know is not right, it's going to come back to you faster. Don't do that. Number 9, take action. Go and take action and figure it out as you go along. That's what 9 energy is about. 9 energy can figure it out as they go along by taking action. 9 energy at a more esoteric level is calling also for shadow work. It's calling for integrating. It's a good time for trimming the fat, bringing things to completion, not necessarily for starting things. Getting rid of old clothes, getting rid of old things. That's 9 energy in general. So I think I'll stop it here. This video is getting long. You can go through the master numbers and more numbers. But for now, this is good. Let's stop it here. If you have any comments or questions, leave it underneath this video. If you want to get a reading or analysis with me, I have several different opportunities for doing that. leave a comment under this video. As also, I'm starting to put my website into the description of the video where you can go find my link. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up. And as always, if you want to see new videos like this, hit the subscribe button. Wishing you the best. God bless.